Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Today we are at the next topic, that is the Instructive Miniatures. We are going to look at a game here. Schnitzler is white and FRL is black. So let's get started with the game. E4, C5, beginning of the Sicilian defense, and white goes with the move D4. More natural is NF3, but white often wants to play in a gambit style. So after CD4, he often goes with the move C3, which is called the Mora gambit. In this game, although white plays differently, white goes with the move Bishop C4. Bishop C4 is a developing move, but it allows black to play the move E6 instantly. So white should prefer either the move C3, which is a better way to go for the gambit, or just play NF3 here, which is also possible when E5 is not such a great idea, because after NF3 E5, black is trying to set a trap, knight into E5, then queen A5 check and the knight on E5 is lost. But then BC4 becomes very good, because once E5 is committed, the bishop's power on F7 is enormous. That is what happens in this game also. Black plays E5. Typical beginner mistake, pawn moves are made to protect another pawn, and instead of developing the pieces, one is wasting moves. Of course, it is center control, but the bishop on C4 is becoming very active now. White goes with the good move F4. Far superior to NF3, white is looking to open the F5. Black has two ways to protect the pawn, D6 and NC6. If F6 is played, we can see instantly after FE, Queen H5 check, E5 would be lost and it's game over. Black plays NC6 to protect the pawn on E5, and now white goes NF3, again putting pressure on the E5 pawn. Black goes D6. Already we see that black is in some trouble now. Let's see why. Firstly, white already has two developed pieces. Soon after castle, the rook will occupy the open file. So we will say that white will have three developments. F file is open, making the rook active as well. And the C1 bishop will also get opened after the move FE5, DE5, and now white goes castle. We can already make out that things have become alarmingly difficult for black, because white's development is not only more, but his activity is also huge. We can already see the rook's power on the F5, and here black couldn't play accurately and he immediately fell victim to a combination. After the move NF6, white instantly has the move knight G5. When we see that it's forced to defend F7 with the move BE6, when white can choose between BE6, FE, NE6 or NE6, FE followed by BG5 and later capturing the E6 pawn. So white is better here. Black played the move Bishop E7, stopping knight G5 idea. But we already see that the F file is the avenue of attack and the square F7 is really weak. So we say that any point near the king is weak where there is only support by the king, or wherever we can increase attacks. So white understood here that it is already a position like we see a typical combination might happen. It's white to play and win from this position. So one should try to work out the remaining moves in their mind and try to check out with what happened in the game. So white went with the move Bishop F7 check, King takes F7 forced, otherwise castling is just broken. And now I hope you must have found the strong move Knight E5 check. It's a double check. Knight is eyeing the F7 square, and after King E8 we can see that Queen H5 check will decide the game in white's favor. After G6 and G6, Hg, Queen into H8, and soon G8 would be lost. So white is winning in that position. So that leaves black with only other choice, that is King E6, and we can say that this is even worse than the move Ke8. What should white do here? White has two alternatives. One, he can go for the move Qg4 check, instantly putting question to the king. After Kd6, Knight F7 check, he can win the queen, and after the move Ke5, we can use the move bishop f4 check. When king has to take on e4, then queen f3 check. That can be a very good option, because after king f5, then again bishop c7 check and white wins. But here white went other way around. He went nf7 attacking the queen, and the point is, if queen is saved, like black played qb6 in the game, white had foreseen qg4 checkmate. Because the king is not having place on d6 and f6 squares because of knight and rook. d5 and f5 are guarded by the e-pawn, e5 is guarded by the knight. No one can block the check from the queen, and it's game over. Means basically black had to give up the queen on d8 and white would have won the game simply. So in this game we saw how black flouted many opening principles and white was able to take advantage of them. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.